English Toastmasters, member of Indian Academy Toastmasters, member of LA1 1924 Toastmaster Bangalore. He presents Area 2 as an area director. He is District 20 Pathways Manager. He is Region 11 Recognition Officer, believes that learning is continuous process and sharing what you learn in reality of leadership. So because he is a leader, then he is showing us how to be leaders. Please, DTM Roshan, read your roles for tonight and explain for us that the new style of evaluation, where it will be all of them, they will do it, everybody will do for everyone, for all speakers.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, for that introduction. I was surprised you still remember that our first meeting. I still remember you added to that club a 1 DCP goal. So I presented you a certificate of appreciation. I had come to your club as a general evaluator. And today, coincident, again, I'm sitting in front of you as a general evaluator. Thank you very much. So fellow Toastmasters, as a general evaluator, my role will be, I'll observe the meeting and I'll give my inputs at the end of the session along with my tag team. Evaluation is the most important aspect because it improves, it develops, and it also reshapes our process of development. That's why we all say we are malleable. And apart from today's evaluation, one thing with our speakers, both the evaluator will explain the project objective of both the speakers. I think I've not seen one of the speaker yet in the house. There are 2 speakers are present. And at the end of during general evaluation, both the 2 evaluators will give a panel evaluation for the speaker, and whatever additional point I'll be also talking about in my evaluation, as I am 3rd evaluator and additional role I'll be doing as general evaluator. With that, I wish meeting all the best. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you very much. Roshan, thank you very much. Now, I believe that the first speaker should be Toastmaster Amanda, but I cannot see her. She's with us tonight?
Right now, she's not here, Tia Modi.
Shall I go to the next speaker? I mean, is she coming or not? I don't know.
I think we have to continue, sir. We don't have the first speaker, so we'll have only 2 speakers.
Okay. So I will move to the next speaker, which I will be. Shall I introduce the evaluators all together, or is it the normal way of introducing the evaluators? I have to, because I can see here the second evaluator is Toastmaster Gangarao. DTM Khalid.
Mr. Toastmaster of the Day, we have evaluators, DTM Khurram Salman, Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao, and DTM Roshan Lewis. There are 3 evaluators. So I think we request DTM Khurram Salman to read the objective of the speaker, Hishamji. He has Hishamji.
The second speaker is Gangadhar Rao.
Thank you. Do I go ahead and read both the ones or just one at the moment?
One at the moment.
Okay, so we're gonna go with, there are 2 speakers for tonight. The first file that opened is an icebreaker. I don't think she's there anymore. So there's only one objective to be read, just the second file. And that, correct me if I'm going wrong here, I'm just taking them from the group that we had. And the purpose of the project is for the member to learn about different communication styles and identify his or her primary style. And the purpose of the speech is for the member to share the impact of his or her style on others. And what we will be looking for as evaluators is a well-organized speech and some aspect of communication styles. The member can choose to, whatever their communication style is, that's completely fine. The speech can be humorous, informational, or any style that the member really chooses. It should not be a repeat on the content that he has read through in preparation of the speech. I wish our speaker the very best of luck. Back to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you very much, DTM Khurram. Now, with our first speaker, DTM Muhammad Faraz Kias. He works as an audit and screening officer at Sharia Review Bureau, born and raised in Bahrain, currently studying to be a CPA. I wish him all the best, inshallah. He will be performing his dynamic leadership pathway project, level 2, project 1, understanding your communication style pathway, I think. Let us welcome DTM Muhammad Faraz and his speech titled, How I Get Things Done. All the best to you, DTM Muhammad.
The art of communication is the language of leadership. Master of Ceremonies, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests, very good evening to one and all. Communication is the art of conveying a message, but it is not the way by just speaking. This is a two-way communication where you speak and your message is going out, and at the same time, message is being received by the person you are speaking to. Mainly, there are several types of communication. However, I would like to talk about three distinct ones for today's meeting. To start with, we have the silent communicators, you have indirect communicators, and you have direct communicators, or the direct style of communication. Silent one is a brief introduction, therefore I will start with that. Silent communication is the way you communicate through body language, your gestures, your facial expressions, anything without uttering a single word. This is most commonly seen, as an example I could give, when parents are seeing their kids graduate or getting married. That smile on their face or that slight wrinkle when they smile, even though they don't say a word, you can see that they are proud or that they are happy. Another side of this is that stern look parents could give their kids when they are misbehaving. All they have to do is just stare at them and give them that look, and whatever the kid is doing, they will stop. This is another silent way of communication. Message sent, message received. However, the more elaborate or more distinct styles of communication are indirect communication and direct communication. For the direct style, this is, as the word goes, speaking directly to the person. You say exactly what you want and you expect exactly what you've said to be done. There is no room for interpretation. The example for this is most commonly if you want to go to the barber. If you go and tell the barber you just want to get your hair cut short, short could be anything. Short could be the length of my beard right now or the length of my hair. It is different for different people. If you just say short, the message is not clear. It is up for interpretation, and you may turn to be surprised by what the barber does. So the direct way of saying it is, I want it short. And for the men here, you would know there are numbers that you can say to get your hair cut. This is an example of direct communication. We also see this most commonly with managers. When they want a task to be done, you tell your subordinates exactly what you want done and how it is done. Last week, I returned from Saudi Arabia. I was there for 2 weeks and we had traveled for an audit trip. For this trip, we requested the client by email listing every single document that we wanted to see during the audit in email very clearly. However, the client, the person we were talking to, just made a phone call to relevant departments and said, the auditors are coming, prepare this, prepare that. To our shock, when we arrived at the client, we were there for a 2-week audit trip. We spent the first week clarifying exactly what we wanted, because although we directly and clearly mentioned what we wanted, the client, the point of touch for us, he was using the indirect. He thought the subordinates or the department heads would know exactly what we wanted. And this is a very common problem with indirect communication. There are times when direct is the only way to go. The other option for us to see is indirect communication. This is my personally preferred style of communication. And this is how, the way we do this is when you say something in one way, but you infer something else. You expect your audience or the person you're speaking to read between the lines. This is most effective for motivating people. For example, if you want someone to start living a healthy lifestyle, you ask them to exercise. If you go to them and tell them you need to exercise, it is good for you, it is this and that, you're using the direct communication style, and they may be motivated, but for a short time. On the other side, if you go to them and tell them, I know someone who is 60, 70 years old, and he's able to run around and play with his grandkids. And the reason for this is because he used to be more active in his younger days. This gives the person the end goal of when I'm 70, I want to be able to do that. So I will start to exercise. These are two different styles of doing it. Now, Toastmasters provides or encourages club success, indirect communication in terms of their club success plan. Most of us here are DTMs, and therefore I'm sure we've all served as officers in our clubs. Now, you will clearly know that the club success plan can easily be completed by just the president, or if required, also the vice president education. However, Toastmasters encourages us to involve all 7 officers, the immediate past president, and 3 other members. What does this do? This is an indirect form because you are making people motivate themselves, involving them in the decision-making, thereby making them take responsibility for certain items, and they will therefore ensure that the goals or the points that they promised will be earned. An example from personal life is, I think in 2019, when Bahrain and Saudi Arabia had a football game, and Bahrain won, I think this was the Gulf Cup, public entities in Bahrain or the public offices were all given a day off. We wanted a day off in our private office. So what we had done is in our WhatsApp group, we forwarded the message from GDN, public offices will be closed tomorrow in celebration of Bahrain's victory. And 5-10 minutes later, our CEO, he replies, you know what?
There's DTM for us, if you have the second one.
Indirect communication is able to encourage us. I personally prefer the indirect communication. However, I think we all have to be a hybrid between the two. Back to you, Master of Ceremonies.
Thank you very much, DTM for us. Thank you very much. Also, we get at the end some disconnection in what you have said, maybe, but that's it's a great way to explain how we get things done. Yes, we need to put plans and all these things to make sure that we are on the right track to deliver our goals and achieve whatever we are planning to do. Thank you very much for such lovely speech. Now we will go for our third speaker, who is a champ by birth. Didier Hisham Jeffrey is a lifelong fan of reading and language. He loves figures because he is a finance person, a Toastmaster for 6 years, and worked as a senior lecturer at BIBF, a talented, humble, who loves to help others. Seriously, I really love him for this because he loves to help others. He put on whatever it takes to help and give a good hand to others to take them from a state to another state. Thank you very much for this. He's also enjoying being #1 in everything, in champs, winning the clubs, the areas, divisions, even the districts. Inshallah, one day we'll be like him. DTM Hisham, he will be doing his Visionary Communication Pathway project, level 1, project 2, which is the evaluation and feedback. He will present, take the evaluation feedback, and do the speech again. So let me welcome DTM Hisham in his speech, the final googly. Let us welcome him, please.
TMOD, can you, maybe you need to ask Toastmaster Gangadhar, his evaluator, to read out the objectives.
Sorry, so Toastmaster Gangadhar, please can you just read the evaluation roles for DTM Hisham?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. DTM Hisham Jeffrey, as mentioned, is delivering level 1 project 2 from Visionary Communications. And the purpose of this project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. So the purpose of this speech for the member to present a speech and receive feedback from the evaluator. I wish the speaker all the best and a successful googly today from the speaker. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Gangadhar. I'm sorry for this glitch because I thought that again we will go for at the end of the day. So it's something new process for me. So I apologize for this. Please let us welcome DTM Hisham and his speech, the final googly.
Do you have a favorite sport? Maybe it's football. Maybe it's tennis. Maybe it's weightlifting. If you play sports, you might know that every single sport has a surprise move. In football, it might be the sidestep. In tennis, it might be the overhand with overspin. And in weightlifting, the secret code might be steroids. My favorite sport is cricket. And in cricket, the secret move is known as the googly. And today, I want to share with you a story about the greatest googly that was ever delivered. Mr. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests, good evening to you. The googly is a ball that is delivered in cricket. Usually, it is delivered in such a way that it moves from the right to the left. But with practice, with craft and cunning and consistency, you will be able to manipulate your wrist in such a way that you can deliver it so that it moves from the left to the right. As with all secret moves, the person waiting for the ball will not know what has hit them. The greatest googly that I have ever seen was bowled in 1998. And it was bowled by my teenage friend. He was not tall. He was not fair. And I can say he was not handsome. In fact, he had a face that was so malleable in nature that only a mother could love him. But oh, his brain was one of the most amazing things that you could ever witness. He was the Muhammad Ali of mathematics. He was the Archimedes of accounting. And he was the Socrates of science. No textbook question was too hard for him. He never met an essay that he couldn't ace. And there was no assignment that he couldn't score the maximum marks on. We all knew that it was only a matter of time until he sat his high school exams, scored 8 distinctions, 6 for the A-level exam, scores 4 A's, and then takes his rightful place in university where finally, hopefully, he would find a girlfriend and get married. We all used to call him the brain box. But he had a hidden talent because unlike many smart kids of those age, he also liked to play cricket. But he couldn't hit the ball or catch the ball. The one thing he could do was bowl the ball. Normally, when anyone plays cricket, we take off our shirt, we take off our shoes, we don't take off anything more. But the brain box, like many things, had a completely different outlook to sports. He would button his shirt all the way up to his neck. He would tighten his shoelaces even further. And then, he would run up with a look of concentration on his face and then deliver the ball. And as it hung in the air, the clueless batsman on the other end would not know if it would go from right to left or left to right. Yes, the brain box was one of the greatest exponents of bowling the googly that I had ever seen. And we all thought, just like he mesmerized all of us, it was only a matter of time until he took studies in its malleable nature and crafted it to fit his own purpose. In 1998, when the high school results were released, he had 6 distinctions and 2 credits. To the surprise of everyone, instead of choosing the science stream or instead of choosing the mathematics stream, he chose the commerce stream. As you may know, science is for the first class, mathematics is for the second class, commerce is for the third class. He started to withdraw into a shell. And in 1998, on a windy, cold Tuesday, I received a call from another friend who said, I'm coming to your house now. I'm bringing my bike. We need to go and visit the brain box. So I told him, are you crazy? It's 1 o'clock in the night. I'm not going anywhere. He said, you have to, because the brain box is no more. I said, what? The brain box had committed suicide. He had hung himself from his cupboard using a belt that could have held his trousers up. On that windy, cold Tuesday morning, driving from my home to see my friend's funeral, the one thought that was in my head was, why didn't I see what should have been going from right to left was actually going from left to right? This was a boy who sat next to me every single day for the last 4 years of his life. God had given me 2 ears and 2 eyes and just one friend. How was it that I missed the signs? My dear friends, if there is someone seated next to you, look for these signs. Is there a smile that is turning into a frown? Is there an eye that is no longer laughing at your good morning? Is there a message that no longer receives a smiley face? Is there a person who is delivering their final googly? If they are, it is your duty, your responsibility, and your privilege to make sure that they live to breathe another day. Back to you.
Thank you very much, DTM Hisham. Wow, lovely, lovely one. I loved it. I love the way that you talk. I love the way that you send the messages. Thank you very much for making this so positive. Thank you very, very much, DTM Hisham. Now we will go, before we go for our next topic, which is our next session, which is the table topic, I would like to welcome our new joiners, Toastmaster Omar and Muhammad Ahmed as well. Toastmaster Omar, would you like just to say something before we start our next session? Yeah, no? Okay. Toastmaster Muhammad?
Mr. President, he is our VPE. I think he another meeting as well.
I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry. All right. So we will go for our next session. We would like to welcome everybody who came on board as well. So after we finish this one, we will come back to you also for a chat or just a short one, inshallah. I would like now to welcome our table topic master, which is Toastmaster Veena Nagaraj. She's our sergeant at arms as well. She's a pathologist at BDF Hospital. I'm sure you know my brother. Past Area 16 director and member of Kartika Club Toastmasters and Bahrain Distinguished Toastmaster and Angeles Toastmaster Club. Please welcome with me Toastmaster Veena in the table topic session.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, for that wonderful introduction. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. As you all know, table topics is impromptu speaking on your toes. So this helps us to improve our forming a speech within very small time, you can say within no time actually, immediately. Helps us to create a small speech and deliver. So that is the importance of table topics. So today, let me start with the topics.
Apologies
affect
for
the
the
growth
delayed entry. Sorry, I was just stuck in the hospital, came in.
Welcome, Dr. Babu. Let me start with my first topic. What factors are the growth in business? What factor affects the growth in business? Who can answer? I think I'll start President. Khalid.
Yes, Madam Table Topic Master. Can I hear the question once again? Topic once again.
What factors affect the growth in business?
What factors affects the growth in business? Madam Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and our guest, what affects our business? When we start our business, we started with a vision. We started writing down what is expected from this particular business. Who are the stakeholders of this business? What is the target area or the region we want the business to grow? And what is the capital we have, and by when we want to return our investment which we have made on this particular business plan. All of these elements I just mentioned are elements which affect our business. On top of that is how you manage your business, what are your strategic plan to achieve those business, and not forgetting the rules and regulations of the country. If you violate any rules and regulations of the country for the business or the law, definitely it will have a big impact on your business. Chances are your business will close down. If you have the right strategy for your business, for your people, for the growth of your people, employees, customer, and customer, two important factors, the most important factors. Chances are your business will grow year by year. Let's not forget what is important, what we need to give back to society. Every business we do, the society is part of the business in an indirect way. If you know how to give back to society, society is there to help you with your business growth as well. Take care of the safety of your employees. That itself is a big requirement for you to do business with other parties. All these, according to my understanding, are the factors for a successful business. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster, Table Topic Master.
Thank you. Just a second. My battery is going down. Thank you, DTM Khalid. Moving on, my next topic is it hard work that is important in growth or communication and leadership? Is that hard work that is important in growth and uh, in or communication and leadership? So I think our VP Education has, let me ask our VP Education, DTM Mohammad Asif. DTM Asif, are you there?
I think you can excuse him for today.
Yeah. Okay. May I ask Toastmaster Umar Farooq?
Yes. Can you repeat the question once more?
Is it hard work that is important in growth or communication and leadership? Which one is important? Is that hard work is important or communication and leadership is in growth?
I believe all three are very important. You need to communicate well, you need to have strong leadership ethics and principles with you, and you need to work hard. When you are working hard, you are putting into action your leadership values and your communication skills. And I always believe that if you are relying on your leadership and you are not communicating well, then you will not be a effective leader. Because at the heart of leadership, you have to communicate really well with all the persons that you are trying to influence. Because at the end of the day, leadership is all about mindset. And it is what kind of mindset it is? It's a growth mindset. And in order to have developed that growth mindset, you need to have strong communication. Tony Robbins has said that out of 10 major life skills, the most important, the king skill is communication. If you are want to be an effective leader, you have to have impactful communication skills, because without that, your leadership will be impacted in a negative way. Another, you have to put the hours into it also. You have to do hard work also. And I am also a strong advocate of smart work. You have to be intelligent and you to know how you can cut down time and how you can work smartly. If something that can be done in 1 hour, why need 5 hours? And for that also you need leadership. You need to have proper delegation, how you can do delegate the work, who are the person that are working under you, and who are the person that you are empowering. So right balance of communication, leadership, and hard work is necessary in order to succeed in life and for the organization to grow. Because if you're only relying on hard work, donkey does the hard work also, but he's a good leader? No. He has good communication skills? No. But what he does the work? Nothing. So it's not just hard work, it's also you need to have a leadership mindset, action mindset, I will say, and the strong communication skill in order to thrive in this world. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Umar. There's a comment. I agree with you. Moving on, my next topic is your attitude, not your aptitude, will determine your attitude. Your attitude, not your aptitude, will determine attitude. May I ask Dr. Babu?
Thank you, Veena. Can we, your attitude, not your
Aptitude.
determines
Altitude.
your
ALTID.
altitude. Okay, fine. It's always said that your attitude determines your altitude. Madam Table Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters and guests, Yes, it's always the attitude that matters. The attitude of people when they do something matters and determines your altitude. You may be the member of a wonderful Toastmasters club, but if you don't have that attitude to perform better and to be in with the team, you will never be respected. Your altitude will be like a small hill. The altitude, to reach the altitude of Mount Everest, what matters first is attitude. When I became a medical doctor, I decided that my attitude to my patients would be of a comforting nature. And that attitude, which I practice to this day, has helped me to reach an altitude where I have not reached the peak of Mount Everest, but I'm still trying to change my attitude more and more, because life is always about growing. Life is not a stagnant one. As I said, a contented life is just a continuous feast. And if you are contented with what you have today, with the attitude you have, you will never scale the great heights you want to reach. The history of great leaders also show that was their attitude towards the team that led to wonders. Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, and Mother Teresa, three simple examples of where attitude mattered in three different fields. Fellow Toastmasters, if you want to be a success in life, just focus on your attitude in whatever you do, wherever you do, and with whomever you interact with. Back to you, Madam Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Dr. Bob. Wonderful comment. I truly agree with you. It is the attitude which is the flavored, some emotional intelligence which determines our attitude. How do you measure the success in growth? How do you measure the success? How do you measure success? Anybody wants to comment? Anybody wants to volunteer for us? Ditim Faraz, do you want to?
Yes, go for guest.
Guest. Toastmaster Gangadhar.
Thank you, Table Topic Master, for this opportunity. Success, yeah, we do this job every day in office, saying that we have a beautiful KPIs is a measure of success. That's what the firms believe, but I don't believe in that process of KPI numbers, which will measure the success in anybody's life, for that matter. I have seen my success, if I want to say, it is measured not in terms of the number of things I deliver, but the appreciation I receive, and the kind of the way they enjoy my job, and the way others enjoy what am I doing. So it is equally sharing the joy anywhere in the work or any environment. That is what ultimate success, I believe, other than numbers. So we should be happy. That is what is the first KPI for me to be successful in any objective. So it is between employer and employee, similar scenario. If employee is happy, employer is successful. That's what I would say. If employer is making money but employee is not happy, that is a failure. So the measure of success is different. Yes, of course, we do need to make money. That is a byproduct, I would say. But the main success comes from the joy between the parties, whether it is husband and wife. If you are happy, not about living 25 years together. If you are unhappy, that is not a successful marriage, I would say. So everywhere this kind of mutual happiness exists. That's where I call it as a success. Thank you. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster. With that, I'll end my table topic session, and I'll control back to our Toastmaster Theo Modi, Toastmaster Ahmad Saleh.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Bina. Thank you very much for that. Now we will go for our third session, which is the evaluation session. I would like now to give the speaker to our general evaluator, Toastmaster DTM, Marshall Lewis. Please take over. It's all yours. Hit, go.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day. We all of us might have heard about Edmund Hillary, a New Zealand mountaineer. He's the first mountaineer, along with the Indian mountaineer Singh, he climbed the Mount Everest. First time when he went up, he failed and he came down. And he just looked at the Mount Everest and said, "Dear Mount Everest, today I failed, I am going back. Next time I'll come, I'll grow above you. I can grow to your level, but you can't grow from this level. Please wait." And next time he came, he climbed the Mount Everest. Fellow Toastmaster, this is what growth mindset. Growth mindset always grows. Nothing you do, just sit. Your body, your ear grows. Every year you are older than yesterday. Your body parts, hair, everything grows. Why mind cannot grow? That is only the question. Because it is in our attitude. So mind, when we are as human being every day growing, mind should grow. There is no fixed mindset at all. So with that thought, I go to my general evaluation session. My session will include the timers report, followed with the evaluator session. It's a panel evaluation, followed by timers report, then my comment, then our counter and grammarians report. So let me invite first our timer for today, Toastmaster Naga. Just give us the timing details of our speaker.
Good evening, General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Our prepared speakers did well on time. The first speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Faraz Kiat, took 7 minutes 26 seconds, and distinguished Toastmaster Hisham Jifri took 7 minutes and 8 seconds. The table topic speakers also were on time and they adhered to it. Distinguished Toastmaster Khalid Jalal took 2 minutes 15 seconds. Toastmaster Umar Farooq took 2 minutes 24 seconds. Distinguished Toastmaster Dr. Babu took 2 minutes and 17 seconds. And Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao took 1 minute and 38 seconds. I applaud all the speakers for keeping up their time. Thank you so much. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Naga, our techno-savvy timer from reporting from that lovely timer window. Thank you very much. Now let's move into all our speakers are qualified today. Let's move on to panel evaluation. We have 2 evaluators along with me. We'll be evaluating today's speakers. So let me invite first both the evaluator to the panel. Distinguished Toastmaster Khurram Salman and Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao. Here we are. So let us begin with DTM Khurram for the first speaker. Then I'll move simultaneously to Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao. Then I'll come back. Second speaker will start with the Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao, and I'll move into DTM Khurram. And finally, in my evaluation, I'll add my points if anything missed from these evaluations or any additional point I have. Thank you very much. Over to you, DTM Khurram.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Ladies and gentlemen, and my speaker, DTM Farhaz in particular. How I get things done. Now, let me go through the parts as a DTM. Now, keep in mind, this is a DTM to DTM evaluation, so don't expect me to go easy on you because I won't, just to get that right straight off the bat. I loved the background that you had selected. This shows thought. The way that you had selected the curtains from where you're sitting to a different place showed that there was some thought going into the speaking setup. as you started with a quote, you suited up for the whole thing. So the impression that I got from the very beginning was absolutely phenomenal, because there's the nice background, you're suited up for the speech, and you're starting up with a quote as well, just to grab our attention. I loved how there were 3 types of communications that you were going with. That was the silent, direct, and indirect, and how all of them had an example attached to them. Now, the example was, there were 2 types of examples. One was a general one, and the other one was a personalized one, which I really, really liked about it, because whenever anything is personalized, it is more relatable. It is more imaginable to us as audience. So great job done over there. And one thing that all the speakers need to realize, especially in this situation that we are in, is to how to respond to any technical failure, any technical error, because it could happen to any one of us at any point in time. There was a technical error towards the end, and the way you picked it up was absolutely great. So kudos to you on that. All in all, great work done in terms of the flow of the speech, the way it was organized, the way the examples came in. It was very relatable, very informative as well to all of us. Now let's move towards the things that I believe you can improve in. I cannot see the timer, so if we can have the spotlight for that as well, so I don't overrun. And first of all, the way our speaker started was by not looking at the camera. I believe there were some notes next to you or somewhere where you were not looking at the camera. I believe that if the speaker is looking directly at the camera, that would be a good start to start with, instead of looking here and there, unless it is purposeful. I believe that there could have been a better use of voice modulation, especially when scenes were acting out. So when you were acting out different sorts of scene, the voice modulation could have been utilized a bit better. I believe there was a bit of monotony throughout your speech as well. I do think that the stage usage could have been more purposeful, especially the silent, the direct, the indirect communication you had. You could just have to set up the stage in 3 different spots with 3 different examples and flowing in between them. I believe that could have been a better, more purposeful way for us, to make us follow you more. And I do believe that your left side of the stage, that is my left, your right, was neglected because you were utilizing just your left part of the screen. So I think that is something that you could improve on as well. And I know that most of us don't really like to hear this, more preparation. I believe that there has to be more preparation put into this with the reinforced conclusion, because you were very in the nick of time, you passed it. All in all, great job done. Use the stage better, practice, practice, and practice. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, DTM Khurram Salman, for that technical, professional evaluation. Thank you very much. So let me move on to our second evaluator, who will be also evaluating our first speaker, DTM Faraz. Over to you, Toastmaster Gangadhar.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Simple at great speech. The secret of public speaking. That's what I could see from our speaker, DTM Faraj. It was so simple in terms of the structure and everything. It's easily understandable, and it's just very, very like a very easy speech to get it. And as you mentioned, the objective of speech is types of communication style, and the speaker definitely did his part of research to find out of the volume of communication styles, 3 distinct communication styles he picked up today to share with us. And that was very well taken. And at the same time, when it comes to examples, we all like real life examples. So the speaker really picked up as if it is personal examples. Particularly, some are very practical. I like the example of barbershop communication. I get confused most of the times what to tell when I go there. So definitely it's very practically, it will connect the person. People experience this every day, this kind of communication. So the examples are given very well. And also speaker tried to started this using this stage in 3 things going left, silent, direct, indirect. He positioned the speech to start with, which is a good start in details. Always we try to place our blocks where this is where is my subtopic is there. So very well done overall, the speech positioning, everything, and the voice clarity is amazing. His very subtle voice is going very smoothly. One thing I would like to mention, a recommendation here is that when you positioned your speech silent, direct, indirect, when you are talking about those type of communication, go to silent block, finish it, come to direct block, finish it, your example, go to indirect block and finish your examples and the story. So that way you are very clearly connected to those blocks which you marked on the stage. So that gives a little bit of comfort to audience to connect. And some emotion in the speech. Generally, we say that in speech we have to show, we cannot be showing all emotions, crying, laughing, everything. But in your speech, there was an occasion where you talk about football match, the greatest win. You could really jump out, hooray, I got this, I want to celebrate this. Bring some emotion where celebrating emotion is there. Please bring that kind of emotion to show. So it will change the mood of the audience instead of going in the same line the speech is going. That is the one recommendation. And in overall summary, as I mentioned, the biggest thing out of the speech is simple and great speech. Please stick to that. There is a public speech secret. We don't want to confuse audience with complex things. And please introduce vocal variety. As I mentioned, bring some emotions, going quiet, high, low. So bring some variation in the modulation. With that, you are going to deliver the great speeches in future. I would like to listen because it's very simple language you used. I am like those kind of things very much. Wish you all the best. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao, for that evaluation. So Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Faraz, I will add now my evaluation point to sum up your entire panel evaluation for you. Almost both the points have been talked on content and delivery by both the evaluators. From my side, I would like to add technical thing about your project objective fulfillment. As per the project, when you're present, understanding your communication style, there is a small survey in the project. Hope you undergone when you browse your path in your EMI site. You have to identify, answer that survey and identify which is your dominant communication style. Maybe that you could have explained in us, what is that survey, which is your dominant communication style, and how that style impacted in your life. That was a project objective demands that maybe you could add there. And also there are different communication styles as per our curriculum, like direct, initiation, supportive, analytical communication. I think that part, whether it missed, you can bring it, so it will add more value on a curriculum side. That's one thing. And second thing, you had a lot of characters in your speech. Today we're moving into, as DTM Khurram Salman said, technically we have to equip ourselves, and that could have been narrated that with equally dividing the stage dot character, that will add more attention grabbing, engaging audience, as Toastmaster Gangadhar also said, that would have added further more malleability to your speech. And third important thing, this is my personal observation. I've seen your speech from SLCC days 2 years before. And now I've seen what effort you have put and what that growth you have brought, what that confidence, you are really valuable. Because it is not related to today's speech, but I thought, let me bring it, that is what your effort you have put. That's a great appreciation, and most important, you have very good language. And you have good flow of language, how you presenting the speech, very pleasant. But only where there added would have been more voice modulation. That what happened there, that will connect your audience. Otherwise, it will be a little flatter. To sum up, you had a great content and you had great delivery. You shared your personal experiences. To adding this, you could have brought typical project objective into your content. That would have fulfilled project criteria, and character designing your character in the stage, and also voice modulation will take this speech to a next level. All the best for your next evaluation project. Thank you. So now let's move on to our second speaker. Our second speaker, distinguished Toastmaster Isham Jifri. I will start your evaluation from Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao. So Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao, over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Live to fight another day. What a googly. I am duck out on the first ball. I could played, but I could not play. So it was pure googly what I could see. Of course, it's my favorite sport. Definitely, I enjoyed the speech. Whatever is going through that. Before that, I would call Mr. Isham Jeffrey as Amitabh Bachchan of Toastmasters. Why? You never see him without a tie, without a blazer. This is what is called Bollywood. Amitabh Bachchan known for wearing always in a attire such that any minute I'm ready with a tie and suit. I like that. The way he dress himself and the way he stand and deliver absolutely starts everything perfectly as per this thing. So that's what I'm going to name him hereafter. And when he started saying that, it's a very emotional story. It started with a lot of fun, but it ends with a lot of emotion. That's the way it went in a different emotions, I would say. And one more important thing is when he started saying the key word in his whole speech is 1998. I was stuck to that. What happened in 1998? It is connected me so much. I started recollecting all the players, googly, who can deliver googly in 20 years because I know everyone. I'm thinking, who is this? So I'm engaged in that process. Again, he brought 1998. Again, he brought 1998. So he went back and forth like a Christopher Nolan movie so that I could go in the story front and back. So it's very well connected, even though without confusion still. And of course, his favorite props. I have seen so many speeches with a cricket ball and bat. Today, bat is missing. He always brings with a prop, which is amazing. So I think his luck is with those two specific props, cricket ball and bat. So the question was always question, what happened in 1998? That has an engaged audience that keep thinking, guessing, everything. But at the end, he deceived all of us with his closing. Definitely. It is not about cricket. It is not about googly. It is about life. That's the spirit of this whole speech. That's what I enjoyed. And he used beautifully the examples of Muhammad Ali, Archimedes, Socrates. I mean, it's covered so many beautiful words and names and connecting to those people. One thing I would say, what would I recommend to Isham Jeffrey? One thing. When particularly the sport of cricket, when you are talking about delivering a speech on cricket, cricket has got so many positions in the ground. So apart from only in the bowling position, throwing always googly, you could go to the different positions in the cricket. So the stage could be, instead of back and forth, it could go to the sideways catching position, different things. It's like a game of sport, which we are using. It could go to a different position to use the stage complete like a cricket ground. So I would say. So that's the only thing I would recommend at this stage. As a summary, it's a story straight went and stored in my heart. I will definitely connect to that, look around for people, ensure they are smiling and they live to fight another day. I wish Isham Jeffrey all the best. I would like to enjoy that. Please invite me for all the speeches. Thank you. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao, for the pure googly on that googly. Thank you very much. So let's move on to now our distinguished Toastmaster Khurram Salman, a second evaluator for distinguished Toastmaster Isham Jeffrey.
Thank you, DTM Roshan. DTM Jeffrey is right over here with us. I've always been a fan of his storytelling style. You want to deliver a message, they say, tell a story and people will remember what you're saying. Let's go through the things that I really loved about the speech, because there's quite a few. I loved how the start is always rhetorical. That engagement with the audience in the first 10 seconds is extremely important, and DTM Isham always nails it down to the T. I love how he's always doing it up. I've never seen him deliver a speech in a formal attire, even though I'm guilty of, in an informal attire, even though I'm guilty of that. His use of voice throughout is phenomenal, and getting that across in a virtual environment is an art. To deliver your voice modulation the way it should be delivered. So kudos to you on that. And I love how he always brings a prop, because prop brings us into the speech. A cricket ball, most of us over here have either seen it, held it, or used it. So bringing us into your speech is always a very good thing to do. And that is what our speaker did well. I love how he had little humor sprinkled throughout, those little giggles that we also bring us in and always keep the mood light, especially for a speech like this. And his usage of the power of threes, I've noticed throughout many of his speeches, is always very impactful. So, Muhammad Ali Archimedes, the use of anecdotes and the power of threes is always very well placed and well utilized. And I loved that anecdote where it was going from right to left, but it went from left to right or the other way around. So these sort of things really make you think, even though he's moving forward, it's just that pause that really brings us into his speech, which is an art, and DTM Hisham Jafri has mastered that in more ways than one. Going towards the content or the feedback that I can provide him with, because this is a speech where he has to utilize the feedback for his next one. There are 2 comments on delivery and one comment on the content. And I feel like the left side of the stage by both the speakers today was not utilized. That is my left, your right. I feel like there was the half of the screen was utilized very well, but the other half was ignored. So I believe an overall usage of the speech would help him a lot. When the revelation came of our main character committing suicide, I didn't feel that, because while I was taking my time to digest it, the speaker had already moved on to the next part. So that pause over there is very, very important to let us really digest what has just happened. And the facial expressions to go along with it is extremely crucial, because otherwise it's just a plain delivery and might fall flat. And I want to know what the impact of the death was, because throughout the speech is going so well, he dies, we move into the conclusion. I want to know what impact did it have on you, how did it affect you, and what lesson can we take from that is what I wanted to know. And that leads on to the reinforcing the conclusion, which was, for me, felt a bit abrupt. Overall, great usage of voice modulation, storytelling, the visual imagery, and just utilize the stage a bit more, pause when necessary, and make sure that that's more personalized approach, especially to things like these. Back to you, the evaluator.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Khurram Salman. Thank you very much. Distinguished Toastmaster Hisham Jafri, from my side, many of the points have been covered. I had noted about emotions. That point already distinguished Toastmaster Khurram Salman brought that about the suicide and stage usage. That also both speakers have been brought. Your most stage usage is front and back, so the right and left can be utilized more. And normally we divide stage into 5 areas, technically. Front stage, back stage, right and left. So when we come to emphasis and suggestion, we bend front. When you go flashback, we go to back, and we bring characters, we bring right, left, and we give strong message at the center or beginning at the center. This is how I suggest. You may be having more tricks, but this will beautify your Zoom window virtual presentation. Then another thing, content. You are a master of content. You know how to grab the attention. Great. You have a strong body with the stories. But today's speech, what I felt, there was a strong message was not coming to your body. I was waiting for what is that message. That was like that same, I think DTM Khurram Salman brought it. That's all. Otherwise, it was a great speech as usual. You are always, all-rounder. You bat well, you bowl well. If allowed, you also do keeping also well. So that's a great speech. I really enjoyed. Thank you very much. With that, we'll move to our next session, timers report. May I call upon Toastmaster Nagendra for the timers report for our evaluators.
Good evening, General Evaluator.
Yes.
I am back again with the timers report for our evaluations. I am happy to say that even the evaluators were on time today. Distinguished Toastmaster Khurram Salman took 3 minutes 18 seconds and 3 minutes 25 seconds. The Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao took 3 minutes 25 seconds and 3 minutes 18 seconds. It was just opposite of the distinguished Toastmaster Khurram Salman. And our general evaluator took 2 minutes and 38 seconds for his first evaluation, and he wound up very quickly at 1 minute and 22 seconds during his second evaluation. I guess he didn't have much of it because it was already mentioned earlier. With that, back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Naga. Let's give him loud applause for taking up timer role and organizing it very effectively. Thank you, Toastmaster Nagendra. So now it's my comment. Meeting started on time. We had around 8 members and 3 guests around 7:30, and meeting started on time. And President took over. Sergeant at Arms started well, and President took over, and he talked on also growth mindset and fixed mindset. He talked on the theme beautifully. There was a lot of take-home messages, and he adopted the agenda. And only one thing, business session was missed. There are 2 reasons. If it is missed by mistake, we can incorporate it. If it is missed because of quorum, still, if no quorum, you can conduct a business session. You can take the reports of your officers. Only one thing, any decisions can be communicated to group via email or any communication channel and get the things passed, but you can conduct a business session. And apart from that, I should thank our today's special hero, Toastmaster of the Day. And the last moment, he comes as a guest, takes a role, and takes it very neatly with the proper, he initiated his talk with the growth mindset, and he also introduced all role players very effectively and with all the information. I was really surprised. I was not knowing that he will bring those 2 years before that incident. That's what malleable growth mindset, and you always have that in your mind. I was really surprised. So everything he brought very neatly, and he really anchored today's session on this, and cricket language and googly language, we were last over batsman. He comes and hits 6 and he makes the match to win. Today, he was the man of the match. Well done, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Ahmad Al-Balushi. Well done. Let's give him a loud applause. And coming to our role players, I really appreciate our guests from Bahrain Educators, Toastmaster Al-Hala, for taking this role, and your word also today, which is very, connected with growth mindset, malleable, flexibility, and changing and influence. All that's what covered with malleability. Great job. And also, next I'm going to wait for our counter report, and I'm not sure a president has taken that role, so we'll be receiving that report later. Coming to speakers, already evaluated, and about evaluator, great evaluation, very valid points have been given. Now, what are the improvement area we can do? If I evaluate today's meeting, I don't see that much, because we were all today's Bahrain Distinguished Toastmasters. We emphasis on quality, not the quantity. So on that per se, if I evaluate today's meeting, there was a quality in speeches, there was quality in evaluation, there was a quality in table topic presentation. Even table topic master, Toastmaster Veena, brought a connected topic to the theme. So there was a quality. Now, as a part of Bahrain Distinguished Toastmaster, I always evaluate little away from the meeting, the preparation of the meeting. I think this we can give a lot of efforts, and we can make it really a Bahrain Distinguished Toastmasters effort by creating well-planned meetings with a lot of quality members to involvement, and we can work on that. That is our XCOM job. We can really work on that so that we are meeting once in a month, ensure all our members attend with great quality meetings and more contents in the meeting. That will help us to have more powerful meetings. Other than that, I don't have any much suggestions for today's meeting. I really enjoyed as evaluator, as general evaluator, as a member of today's meeting also. So with that, let's move on to our counter report. May I call upon Toastmaster, Distinguished Toastmaster Khalid Jalal for our counter report?
Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator. It's our counter report. I'm happy to present it. Now, I have basically categorized the group who spoke in 2 categories. Those who spoke without any mistake, and those who spoke with the report which I wanted to prepare. Otherwise, I wouldn't get a chance to prepare my report. Now, what I saw is basically 12 members or guests included spoke, out of which 50% were very clean. They didn't give me any chance to write anything in my report. The balance 50% is the report I'm going to present. I will not go, with your permission, individually, but I'll go as the high level in terms of the numbers. On average, we have 31 hours. Sorry, total we have 31 hours, on average of 5 per person, 5 hours per person from those who spoke. We have 7 so 2.3 on average. We have 2 so, 3 and 2 double words. And they were I say, I. So those words were repeated by the speakers. Overall, I think we are improving from previous meetings because I do not see any mistakes in all the other categories. It's only ours, and the double word. So only 4 errors which I have reported today. I can submit the report to individuals if they want to know the mistakes one-to-one basis. Otherwise, I'm done with my report, and back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, accountant, distinguished Toastmaster Khalid Jalal. You've really taken down calculatively all the accountant reports. Thank you very much for that lovely presentation. So let me request a guest and a grammarian for today's session, Toastmaster Hala. Can you please present your report? Over to you.
Yeah, as we all know, the grammarian report is what paints the speech picture. So no matter who said what, it doesn't matter. It's all about how to feed forward, to learn and improve. Our mindsets have to be malleable and open to everything that comes our way. And I think they're open enough to be malleable after today's meeting. In terms of pronunciation, I'm glad that the only word that was mispronounced, and that because of the incorrect stress and intonation, the fall of stress, was the word preferred. So preferred way of communication, not my preferred way of communication, not my personal preferred way of communication. That for the pronunciation. About grammar, I have heard subject-verb agreement, like silent ones is, which should be silent ones are. The use of passive voice, however, not elaborate. It has to be elaborated. We request the client. It should be requested from the client, not we request the client. Concerning the good expressions and the use of similes and metaphors, I've heard at the heart of leadership, to put your heart into something. Attitude will be like a small hill. Life is not stagnant. And my favorite is the comparison between hard work and the donkey. Well, and guess how many times the word of the day has been used? Any wild guesses?
15.
0. Only me. Only me. So does anyone have an idea how to use it? You still have time. Who would like to use the word
of the day? Used it once in the beginning?
I think we have I used 2 times, 2-3 times.
3 times?
Yeah.
Toastmaster Hala, I started my speech with my...
I didn't count that, Toastmaster Ahmed Saleh. I didn't count yours. I've heard yours clearly.
Okay.
Even Theo Modi started that with that letter.
Okay. All right. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
And the last point I would like to mention is about It's a secret. I promised myself to challenge Toastmaster Hisham Jeffrey today to hunt for grammatical errors and mistakes. Regrettably, not a single error. Wow. The fantastic use of collocation words, the use of alliteration, the rhyming that made the speech sounded very pleasing. The brilliant use of rhetorical devices such as hypophora. It was excellent. For the audience, hypophora is when you raise a question and then answer it. It's used as a device to stimulate the audience interest and curiosity by asking the question. So kudos to you, Toastmaster Hisham Jeffrey. As usual, you keep on impressing us. Thank you very much. That's all. And over to you.
Thank you very much, grammarian. That was real educator style of grammarian report and observation. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
And with that, I conclude my general evaluation. I thank my tag team, especially timer, accounters, and grammarian, and the evaluators. I really enjoyed. Thank you very much. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
I'm sorry, I'm talking, nobody's listening to me. I'm so sorry. Thank you very much, DTM Roshan. Thank you very much for a lovely session that you have just conducted. And yes, Toastmaster Hala, I started my speech with malleable, and I said it 5-6 times. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Hala. Thank you very much. I'm just kidding. I will just do a closing, and I'll give it back to the president. He just need to maybe for the closing, if we have any votes or something, he can take it over from there. But let me just do, okay, the voting is there in front of you guys. Please go ahead and select, I'll select with you. So we'll just go there and, all right, so submit this so I can conclude my speech and give back. It's finished. All right. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for hosting me tonight over here. It was a lovely night. I really enjoyed it. I learned lots of lessons. And actually, it was my pleasure to be here tonight. But let me just do a final closing for whatever we have done tonight. And I love to give speeches of moral and for the things that give a push for the people to move towards positive things. Everyone here was malleable. Malleability during the speeches, malleability when you were pitching into the table topics and the evaluation. Most importantly, you were malleable while you were committed to your roles. Thank you very much for everything. Remember what I said before. This is the main thing about our theme. Money is worthless comparing to knowledge and science that are priceless. For that, growing your mindset and be as much malleable as possible. This is the era of knowledge and learning and science. If we did not take this opportunity to grow our mind, not only our mindset, our ethics, our morals, everything in this life, which makes us better people, which makes us different than others, which makes us distinguished from others. Thank you very much. And remember, it is never over until it is over. Thank you all for everything, and I wish you a lovely beginning of the week with love, joy, and happiness. Back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, our Toastmaster of the Day. I'd like to thank all our role players, our guests, our speakers who took part today, and special entry from Dr. Babu from his busy schedule. I'm sure he was busy with his patient, but still gave us time and he's with us. And he also took part in table topics, and special thanks to our VPE, Division B Director. Despite being busy with his Arabic division contest, he managed to join us in between, and now I think he's still with us. Can I see him? No, I think he's not with us anymore. So I would like to announce the results first, and then I'll collect the feedback from all of you. The best table topic award goes to none other than our champion, DTM Dr. Babu. Congratulations. The best role player today is our guest role player, Toastmaster Hala Fauzi from Bahrain Educators Toastmasters Club. There's something special about the Educators Club. Wherever they go, they just shine and they just win. So if I want to win in any contest or any meeting, I make sure no one from Bahrain Educators is there.
No, better you join Bahrain Educators, so you will win every contest.
That's the other way of putting it. Thank you very much.
Positive growth mindset.
Growth mindset.
Yes.
Our best evaluator. He is still with us, but hiding behind the camera. Distinguished Toastmaster Khurram Salman. Is he still with us?
He's with us, but camera and audio is off.
He's with us and without us.
We'll clap in absentia.
Khurram Salman. I can pass it to somebody else in his absence. Congratulations, sir. And now it comes to the Best Speaker Award. Any guesses? Miracles always happen. Miracle always happen.
You don't need to guess.
Distinguished Toastmaster Hisham Jifri, congratulations. And congratulations to all who participated in this meeting and took role in one way or the other. Now, before we conclude, let me hear from everyone in this meeting today, their feedback. So let me start with Dr. Babu, who's the first one in my Zoom window. Dr. Babu,
thank you.
Your feedback for today's meeting.
Thank you, Khalid. Opportunity. That's it. Because I'm so happy I was stuck up, but then I didn't know whether I should barge into a meeting after it has started. However, I sent a message, requested Roshan and asked whether I can join in, and he said, please do. Because as I said, it's the attitude that matters. And it was that attitude to this club that increased my altitude to come over here today and take part. Thank you very much for everything, because it has been a wonderful meeting. I'm sorry I couldn't listen to everything. I wanted to listen to the speeches, Hisham and the other person, but unfortunately I just couldn't, just stuck, but came back. That's why I didn't even wear my Toastmasters pin, joined directly. Thank you very much. Wonderful meeting. Great going by this club headed by Khalid Jalal. Hats off to you, sir, because I say this is the only club I have joined other than WMC Toastmasters, and that's a result of the persuasive power of Khalid Jalal. Again, salute you, sir.
This is your greatness, sir. Thank you very much. Next, I see our General Evaluator, Distinguished Toastmaster Roshan Lewis.
Yeah,
we heard already from you, but the final comments.
We really enjoyed. I always said it's quality matters. So we have wonderful quality here, and I really appreciate your effort for this meeting. Regularly, you have been communicating and taking responsibility for this meeting. That is what actually the president will do, and you have done that. Great. I really enjoyed today's meeting. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Next, I see myself in the window, so I'll skip myself and let me go to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ahmed Saleh Al-Blushi. Your comments, feedback?
Well, I talked too much tonight. So I said so much, so many words, so many sentences, and yeah, thank you very much. First of all, thank you very much for hosting me tonight over here, and thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. Actually, it was lovely, and I enjoyed it actually, rather than get the, other than the benefit. It was so beneficial for me. The other thing is that I really love this place. Hopefully, inshallah, I'll get my DTM and I'll join you, inshallah, to become a more positive Toastmaster in the Toastmaster community, inshallah. Thank you very much, and back to you, inshallah. Khalid, sorry.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ahmad. Yes, I reserve the form for you from now. Next, I see our timer, Toastmaster Nagendra Sitaram. He was hidden throughout the meeting, and now we can see him in full.
Good evening, President, fellow Toastmasters. I don't know what to say, because like Dr. Babu, I was always only with one club, that was our ABC, and I joined Gamco Toastmasters because it was our company's Toastmasters club. And this one, I think, is my personal favorite also, I guess, because working and learning from all the distinguished Toastmasters is amazing. And I have been learning daily, every meeting, and even in our WhatsApp group also. Thank you so much for being so supportive, all the distinguished Toastmasters. It's a great pleasure to be with this club. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nagendra Sitaram. Now we have Toastmaster Dr. Veena Nagraj, 2B DTM.
Yeah, thank you very much, President. I don't have much to tell, because whatever I had to tell, everybody has told. So again, yeah, I agree. The quality was there, although the numbers were less. The meeting was a very qualitative meeting, and enjoyed it very much. As G said, we have to plan a little bit more and a bit more earlier. And yeah, I joined for my pursuit, as Nagendra also said, my interest in this club is to learn from all the DTMs, with the quality speeches, quality evaluation, and other roles, TMOD roles and others. So there is lots to learn in this club. So that's why I'm very happy about this club. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Veena. In fact, the reason why we have less number of attendees from our members is because there's a contest going on. Division B Arabic contest is going on. So Division B directors or VP is also busy there. And DTM Mona, she's also part of the Arabic club's support. So she's also busy over there. So these are a few reasons. And some of them are contesting in different clubs. Next, we have our guest, Toastmaster Hala Fauzi from Bahrain Educators Toastmaster Club. You have told us about the grammar part. Now tell us your general overview.
Thank you, DTM Khalid, and for giving me this opportunity. And by the way, this is why was my first time ever to be a grammarian. And I really enjoyed preparing for this, reading and just checking what exactly am I supposed to do. You just surprised me of sending me the invitation 2 days ago or 3 days. Was it 3 days ago? But I really enjoyed the experience. And it's not, even though I failed in tracking the use of the word of the day, again, I apologize to Toastmaster Roshan, but it taught me a lot in terms of preparation and in terms of listening, and you have to be careful, not like having a speech, because when you have a speech and you're done, but you as a grammarian, just like as a counter, you have to be alert from the beginning to the end, and that also relates to aging. I think I'm aging. But I really enjoyed the experience. Thank you very much. Thank you. I learned from you all. Thank you very much.
They say age is just numbers, so don't worry about that.
Yeah.
You never stop learning.
I will.
We have 4 minutes left, so I'll go very quickly to see if you have a guest. We have a guest, Toastmaster Omar Farouk. If you're still with us and you can still give your feedback, or comments, suggestions, feel free. Toastmaster Omar, if you're still able to hear us. I guess no, and we have a guest, Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao.
Yes.
Your feedback, comments.
Yes, DTM Khalid Jalal. Before I give feedback, I have one request.
Yes.
If you can give me a permanent guest membership in your club. It's a long way for me to qualify and enter as a member, DTM to become a DTM. So if you introduce something called guest membership, I want to be a permanent guest member, irrespective of role is there or not. Jokes, the things apart, there is a serious request only, anyway, not joke. Whenever DTM Khalid sends me a request anytime, says that, can you take up this role? I will say first, yes. I don't see which club and what role, nothing. Yes. Then suddenly he comes up with details, and the way this club has given a role with such a smooth way, he sent the details. Then today morning, he sent this panel evaluation concept. He sent a voice message how to do that. So it's the first time for me to do such a panel evaluation kind of thing, more than one speaker. And further to just after meeting started, 1 minute before I need to introduce a speaker, General Evaluator Roshan Lewis sent me the speech objectives. I was wondering what to, I didn't add that. I mean, it's all timely reaction from everyone in this club. I mean, just in the minute. That is a very important thing to do. I thoroughly enjoyed, and I want to attend each and every meeting as a guest and see what I want to learn first. Yeah. So from all the DTMs, and that's it from me. Thank you. Back to you, DTM.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Gangadhar Rao. I have 2 minutes left, and we have one guest, so I'll go with our guest, Toastmaster Muhammad Ikaruddin.
Thank you, DTM Khalid Jalal. You remember me. I was thinking you forget. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's really, I enjoyed a meeting, and this is like a advanced Toastmaster where I have seen somewhere else. One speaker and multiple evaluation is happening over here. I suggest someone want to improve their evaluation or the speaking, they have to come to this club. I really enjoyed a lot. And one suggestion, I don't know this is applicable or no, so G has to say about this one. When the report is giving for accounter or grammarian, they have to specify the speaker name so he can see himself or he or she, so they can evaluate themselves. Okay, they have made mistake, so it will be much value added to the person who wants to speak or improve their English or account or whatever. And thank you so much sending the invitation onto our WhatsApp group, and keep your sending. Thank you so much, and back to you, DTM.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vikaruddin from VITP. I have 1 minute left. I'll go back and try our guest if he's still with us, Toastmaster Umar Farouk Awan. I think he's not with us. So with that, I only see DTM Hisham Jifri. Half a minute for you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I do apologize for the silence in the last half an hour. I was driving back home. As always, good things come in small packages, and definitely the start has been small but sharp and sweet. So I look forward to many, many more meetings, and we meet only once a month. So we have 29 days to plan our next meeting. Let's make sure that it is 10 times better than this, and the next one is 100 times better than this one. I look forward to the April meeting. Thank you, Mr. President. Back to you.
Thank you very much, DTM Hisham Jifri. DTM Faraz, if you are still with us, half minute. Yes.
Yes, yes, Mr. President, I am here, and I'm surprised to hear from Dr. Babu and even Toastmaster Naga that they were also persuaded the same way. I also was only a member of one single club, and I tried indirect communication style to avoid this club and indirect as well. But your persistence was unreal, So congratulations to you, and it is, of course, amazing. Also, I would just like to applaud our grammarian today. I was surprised to hear that she had this was her first time as a grammarian. That was a wonderful report. So I'm excited to see how she would do once she's a bit more experienced in this role as well. Besides that amazing meeting, back to you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. And our guest wants to be a speaker, and I'm sure she can be a guest speaker. Next time, inshallah, we'll plan that one. Now it's already 9:31, so let me adjourn the meeting officially. Ladies and gentlemen, and our guests, the meeting of today is adjourned. Since the meeting is adjourned, where is our guest, Hala? Yes.
Yeah.
Hala.
Thank you very much for everything.